Everybody? John and Nelson here doing another Tale of the Tape blog for you guys. We're going to break down the first round of the NBA playoffs, but first, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Weirdos. Got the fresh tees and the hoodies and all that good stuff. Go check them out at weirdos.com. You get fresh t-shirts like this one right here, like I got on. So go ahead and shop there, weirdos.com again. So let's start with the first matchup in the West. Here we have San Antonio and the Grizzlies. San Antonio, veteran ball club, Tim Duncan. Manu Ginobili got hurt. We're going to see what he does in the first round. Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches ever to coach. I don't see the Spurs struggling in this series.
And Memphis is a great young team. They're really improved over the past two seasons. But without Rudy Gay, who dislocated his shoulder early February, it's going to be tough for them to compete. I think they can win a game, but Spurs in 5.
Okay, now we have the 4 and the 5 matchup. We have the Nuggets in Oklahoma City. George Karl got these Nuggets playing some ball, man. They're playing like a team. They have J.R. Smith, who can shoot threes and dunk in your face, pretty nasty. They can get boards. They have Kenyon Martin, and they have Chris Anderson. So, I like the Nuggets, but, Oklahoma City's just going to be too much.
And Denver's probably one of the deepest teams in the league with the additions of Wilson Chandler, Ray Felton, Gallinari, and then you also have Ty Lawson running point 2. But, they don't have an actual superstar. And Thunder have 2 bona fide superstars, Russell Westbrook and NBA's leading scorer, Kevin Durant. Got to go with the Thunder here. I think they can win in 6. Wouldn't be surprised if we win 7. It's going to be a high-scoring series, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay, and we have the 2 seed Lakers going up against the Hornets. Kobe Bryant, enough said. We're going to go with the Lakers. Even though, we're not Laker fans, but, Kobe Bryant. This would be too easy. Okay, we're going to give you a preview of this. Mavericks, Portland. This would be a tough one, so I think we should just come back to it.
Yeah.
This is we'll just come back to it. That's going to be a good one. Okay, we're going to go to the 1 versus the 8 seed in the East. We have the Pacers and the Bulls. The Bulls are a title contender. Derrick Rose by himself, is ridiculous. Top 10 plays, dunking everywhere, getting up high, making passes and whatnot. Their coach, Tom Thibodeau, is teasing them to play some defense. So I like the Bulls in this matchup.
Big Danny Granger fan. If you haven't seen Danny Granger play, this is a series to watch. They're going up against Derrick Rose and the Bulls again. And D-Rose MVP for sure. No hands down about that. He's just beasting this year. And it's going to be tough for the Pacers to go up against that supporting cast of Chicago. I think Chicago's going to win in 5. I think Indiana can still win at home. But Chicago and Derrick Rose all day.
Okay, and now we have the 4 and the 5 matchup in the East. We have Atlanta and Orlando. I like Atlanta in this series. They're 3-1 against Orlando this season. I think they're going to do the same thing in the postseason. I just like their athleticism. They're exciting to watch. I know Orlando has Dwight Howard, but I think this is going to be an upset. This is my upset in the East, Atlanta.
Gotta go with Orlando here. I think 3-1 regular season record was kind of a fluke. I think Orlando lost these games that they lost to Atlanta by. It was 4 or 5 points each time. So I think Orlando, if they come out and shoot lights out like they normally do, and if Dwight Howard can stay out of foul trouble, I think it's going to be a relatively easy series. Orlando in 5. I don't think Atlanta has really the capability to match up with Orlando.
Okay, so no one really cares about your opinion. Atlanta. I'm picking Atlanta. Okay. Now we have exciting matchup, I guess, kind of, sort of. We have Miami and the Sixers. It's exciting because you want to see what the Heat are going to do in the postseason. You have Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, 3-headed monster. They're going to be in the playoff zone. They're not going to miss very many shots. They struggled in crunch time in the regular season, but this series, it's not going to be crunch time.
And, the Sixers are kind of in a tough situation here. Played really well this season, overachieved at 41-41.
Good coach.
Got a good coach, got a good young nucleus there in Philly, but going up against the Heat, going up against Chris Bosh, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade, I'm kind of interested to see what Chris Bosh is going to do. I think LeBron and Dwayne Wade are certified in what they've done in the postseason. So we both think the Heat will probably win in 5. I think it's Philadelphia can win 1 in Philly.
Okay, now we have our last matchup in the East. We have the Celtics and the Knicks. This is going to be another exciting one. You have a veteran ball club in the Celtics that know how to win, and you have a Knicks team that, brought in some veterans. But in my opinion, the Celtics just have too much experience in the end. They play team defense, no matter who's on the floor. So I'm going to give the Celtics the advantage in this exciting series, but I think it's going to go 6 to Boston.
This is probably a new rivalry in the NBA. I think a lot of people consider this to be a rivalry now. But, I mean, when one team dominates the other for so many years, it's not really a rivalry. You got Carmelo. You got Amari Stoudemire on the Knicks. I think they're hungry. I think they want to prove to the NBA that, we can compete with the big dogs. And the Celtics are, of course, big dogs. Even though I'm a big Rondo fan, big Jeff Green fan as well, I think the loss of Kendrick Perkins has really hurt the Celtics down the stretch. And I think the Knicks can capitalize on that. I think the Knicks will win in 7. So
who do you think's going to be the key player, Carmelo?
In this series, I think for the Knicks, the key player will be Chauncey Billups if he can keep up with Rondo. Of course, Rondo's probably going to be the key for the Celtics if he can make some shots for them and spread the offense for them too.
Okay, so the matchup that we're most intrigued by, since we're Maverick fans, Mavericks Portland. I'm tired of getting my heart broken. I don't know about you, but the Mavericks in the first round, it's just scary, especially when you're going up against a team like Portland. But I think the Mavericks this year have that depth on the bench, that they need. I think rebounding is going to be a key. I think Brendan Haywood and Tyson Chandler are going to be key. Not just because he's Puerto Rican, but J.J. Barea is going to be key coming off the bench. If Roddy B gets in the game, he could be a spark too. He's been struggling lately, but, he can go off at any time, just as you saw last postseason. So I'm going to give the edge to the Mavericks in 7. It's going to be a nail-biting series, but I think the Mavericks will pull it down 7.
All right. Now, the Blazers, on the other hand, they've got a really deep team. And you talk about the depth of the Mavericks, the Blazers are just as deep, but probably a little bit taller and more athletic than the Mavericks. They acquired Joe Walsh from the Bobcats, which is a really underrated acquisition during the trade deadline. They have LaMarcus Aldridge, who has been playing almost as well or even better than Dirk has during the season. And then Brandon Roy, clutch player, even though he's been banged up the past couple seasons. He can still contribute. But I just feel that the Mavericks have what it takes to get out of the first round. I'm kind of interested to see how Rick Carlisle juggles the lineup a little bit. As we all know, that with the Mavericks being so deep, they haven't really been able to bounce out the minutes as much. So expect some controversy as the Mavericks take some L's in the series. But I think they take 3 L's. Mavericks, of course, get 4 wins, and they will face the Lakers in the second round.
So, that's how we break down our first round. We agree on most things, but a couple matchups we don't. So, check it out and, give us your suggestions, what you think. Give us some feedback. We like some feedback to argue with you guys and whatnot. But yeah, so that's our first round. We'll make another video later after this. So, signing off.
Go Rangers!
Peace.